The question for today is, who is responsible for the unruly behavior of teenagers and young adults today, aka Gen Zs? Happy Saturday, everyone. How are you doing? 2023 has now ranked as the most tragic year for the youth in the UK in 2023 alone, recording the highest number of youths that lost their life through knife stabbing. This is seriously heartbreaking. And this is the reason why I asked the question, and I am still asking again. Who is responsible for the unruly behavior of teenagers and young adults today? Last week, I reviewed a video of the 7 traits that will help you to identify a narcissistic bullying behavior so that you will be able to save yourself or save someone else who might be in danger of the same demise, Mohbad, or some of these kids that I am going to talk about today.
And through
Mohbad, a young, promising, fast-growing Nigerian artist who lost his life last month, September. His demise was surrounding a narcissistic bully. What happened to these kids that lost their lives through tragic incidences of knife and is the same behavioral attitude, bully, narcissism, mental health. And all these we are going to talk about today based on the question I am still asking. Who is responsible for the unruly behavior of teenagers and young adults today? Hello, my co-host. Welcome back to another review with Says. This is going to be a quick one, unfortunately, because you can see I'm now supporting my back with pillars because it hurts and I can't really sit down or stay one place for so long, even lying down. So I had to keep moving. Hopefully I'm gonna get through it. Anyways, off that, back to our video. Before we get on to this video, I am going to mention the names of these young teenagers that lost their lives. Have a very quiet moment for them before I go on. The reason why it is very touching and why it is connected to the video I made last week is the fact that these kids, they are really kids. That's why I'm saying they are really kids. And I really need to know who is responsible for the kids they became today, or the adult they are becoming tomorrow. Here are the kids that lost their life through knife stabbing in the UK in 2023 alone. Minus Tiffany Regis, that lost her life due to fire outbreak that happened where she lives. The rest lost their lives via knifing. Chima Osuji, on April 10th, his happened at Northeast London. The perpetrators are 2 16-year-old boys whom were already charged. Tyler McDermott, 17 years old, happened on April 13th at Norman Road, Tottenham Haringway, perpetrated by 19 and 20-year-old boys. Renell Charles, a 16-year-old boy, it happened at Walthamstow, and the perpetrators are 16-year-old boys. Wazabakana Elanda Jordan Kubako, 18-year-old boy, happened at Dagenham on May 5th, 2023. The perpetrators were not found. Also, one other guy mentioned as Renell Charles was also stabbed, but he didn't lose his life. Khalid Saleh, 17, happened at Paddington Green on June 19th, done by 16-year-old boy. Victor Lee, 17 years old, happened on June 25th, 2023. Perpetrators 14, 15, 17 years old. Leonardo Reed, 15 years old, happened at Archway, Islington on June 29th. Andre Salmon, 18, happened at Stamford Road. He was at Tottenham Haringway. No one is caught yet. Rahan Ahmed Amin, 16 years old. It happened on July 9th. And nothing yet about who did it. Claudio Joad Lafayette, 17, at Granville Road, Kilburn, North Maidvale, Brent, and it happened during a birthday, a fight. And it's still the same. Stefan Valentine Balaban, 17 years old, happened at White Church Lane, Edgware, Harrow on July 28th, 2023. Yusuf Mohammed, age 18, happened at Regent Park Road, Finchley, Barnet on August 7th. Anis Omar Zen, 19 years old, happened at Mansfield Avenue, Stanmore, Harrow on September 4th, 2023. Max Moy Whitley, 19 years old, happened at Jubilee Park on September 20th. Eliane Andam, 15 years old, happened at Croydon. This just happened last 2 weeks or last week. And finally, this one happened October 1st, Taye Faik at 16 Kendall Gardens, Edmonton. May their soul rest in peace. Amen. My question again, who do you think is responsible for the unruly behavior of teenagers and young adults today? You can see from everything I have mentioned here, the perpetrators, none of them, majority of them didn't pass 20 years old. You can even hear the one that is even 14 years old. That's how small they are when they started. And then you ask yourself, 14 years old is still under guardianship of parents. How then did their parents not understood that this guy can carry out an attitude like this or have friends that may lead him to an attitude like this? So with regards to this, I don't know who you think is responsible for this, but I would like you to contribute to this issue that has now become everybody's issue, because if you were keeping quiet before, thinking it's not my child or I am not involved, it can be your child tomorrow and it can be you tomorrow. How quickly these things are happening, it means that nobody is free. Anybody can be this close to this, or anybody can be these kids. So this is the reason why we need to talk about who is responsible and what can we do to help stop this or start making it to diminish. However it is. So let me hear your own opinion at the comment section, because right here I am going to say my opinion. It might not be right, it might not be the best thing, it might not be what you want to hear, but this is my opinion. I would like you to share your own opinion at the comment section so that we will be able to pass this message across. Maybe it will help. I don't know. For me, I will categorize the core thing that I feel is responsible for the behavioral system of teenagers and young adults today. And these 5 core things include: 1, mental health. Mental health is a major issue today. One of the mental health issues that is a very big problem that I don't think enough is being done to address it. Westerners are doing something about it, but I don't think as it is going now, it is enough. So it's time for government to rise up to do something about mental health, especially connecting to bullying itself and narcissistic bullying. And number 2, social media influence. There are so many young adults and teenagers that are doing well on social media, making positive impacts. but the ones that are making negative impact, it's kind of spreading like wildfire, faster than the ones making positive impact. And the drive in all these things is one thing: more money. More money, even when they really don't need it. It's just for them to use it to buy trainers and the next clothing out there, measuring with people that are way older than they are. The third one is lack of education. Lack of education is contributing to what is happening, because there are so many teenagers who are dropped out from school. Some of them who are even going to school, they don't concentrate. Why? Because teachers don't even have the right anyway to caution students anymore. So education is like a place where they go and form whatever they want to form and do whatever they like, and nobody is gonna say effing thing to them. And number 4 is poverty. Things are hard. Things are hard. So poverty is another core contributor. And then the final one is substance abuse. You see young teenagers, 15, 16, in fact 14 even, smoking. And you'll be asking yourself, are their parents aware that they are already smoking at this age? This is including boys and girls. They use this thing, electric cigarettes, they use normal Why should a child of 14 years old be using electric cigarette? For what? For what? There is no way it is acceptable in any way. It is not acceptable. With this, the next question is, who is now the driver to these core responsibilities that is contributing to this unruly behavior that we all are now facing? Who is the driver? I have few drivers for you. To me, there are 3 major drivers. Agree with me or not, I just want to hear your own opinion at the comment section. To me, this is what I think. The core drivers, number 1 core driver is the parents. And I'm going to tell you why the parents comes to me as number 1. Parents are the ones who give birth to their children. And there's nothing you would tell me to believe that the parents, each parent do not know how bad or how good their child is. And it is their responsibility to figure out that this child is exhibiting traits of mental health such as bully, such as lack of self-esteem, which leads to bully, which leads to, lack of acceptance. All these small things is what the parents need to pick out and start helping the child to thrive and become a better person. And when the parents fails in this activity, then what happens? The child fails. And what you see some parents do is they blame everything on Gen Z. And my question is, Gen Z, who made Gen Z? Before Gen Z, you were, right? And you have manners. How come the Gen Z never happened to you? Because your parents at least put in the work. So why are you not putting in the work to prevent the Gen Z from being terrible instead of being good? From exhibiting a very exemplary character instead of an unruly character that they can easily pick up something and harm their fellow child without thinking, without looking back, without remorse. Who is this driver? It is the parents. Charity starts at home. Love starts at home. Care starts at home. Empathy starts at home. Gen Z starts at home. If you cannot be bold enough to tell your child, a child you birth, that probably you are 10, 15, 20 years older than, you cannot tell the child, stop, this is wrong, you're not doing it right, do it this way, then you failed. Okay, let me ask a question. How many of you can still look at your children face to face and correct them for what they did wrong. I'm sure so many of the parents can't do that anymore because they'd rather pamper the child because they want to remain the best mom ever, so they won't ever say the truth to their kids. Some of them have even a terrible behavior that their kids see them do what they do. And most of the things the kids do is looking in the mirror of the parents. I don't know if you get what I mean. Let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, AI is everywhere. Everybody is scared of AI, right? That AI is going to take over. But who created AI? We, humans like me and you. And how did they create AI? They created AI and they transferred what they know and what other people know in the form of data to the AI. And the AI now practiced, and eventually the process of doing the activities again and again and again, repetitive process, the AI becomes more equipped and more intelligent 100 times more than the creator. And this is exactly what kids are. If you are a thief and you give birth to a child who is a thief, I bet you the child is not going to be the level of thief that you are. The child is going to be 3 times better thief than you are, because the technology you're using for thievery in your own time is different from the technology they are using for thievery now. It's another level. So if a parent is a bully or a narcissistic bully himself or herself that hasn't cured, and then give birth to a child that they raised, the child watching them exhibit all these narcissistic bullying behavior, what do you think the child is going to turn into? Because the person that raised him or her never said stop, because they are doing exactly the same thing. And this is how this child will see it as normal and grow up with it. So this is why I say that the core drivers are the parents. The parents need to start reversing the damages they are doing and stop blaming government. Because right now, everybody is pointing at government, but what about the parents? And that leads me to the second driver, which is the government. Some parents are really aware of the background, of their heritage, of who they gave birth to, and they really want to do it. Yes, some of them go extreme in trying to, correct this child, because one thing is, when you want to correct a child, you use forcefulness or you use the wrong way. Instead of the child turning out right, the child will even become worse, way worse. And this is where government comes in. And at this point, the government comes in, take away the child, and maybe put them in foster care. And what happens? The foster care, where they are, the only thing it is if they cannot handle, this foster care cannot handle them, they transfer them to another, they transfer them like this, and they end up anyhow. And another one, the law that said no spanking. This is how government contributed to this. I mean, the Bible even says spare the rod and spoil the child. And that does not mean that you use a rod and, but what the Bible is trying to say is that you should reprimand the child in the right way and let them know that what they did is wrong, so that you will be able to correct them for the future. No spanking. I don't know the level of spanking they mean, but I think every time they increase the level of spanking, that parents are even afraid of correcting their own children. And because children knows this, that they have this power due to government over their parents, they take advantage of it to do rubbish. This is where the government come in and bring in these teachings and this training and everything. But because they are cutting costs, some of them were closed down, some of these supports were taken away, it's no longer there. To add it up, when they said no spanking, I don't think when they said no spanking that they ever say to you, don't sit your children down and talk to them rightly. No. What they mean is, don't kill them. What they mean is, don't use iron fist hand. What they mean is, don't use words that will rather cause something else to them. What they mean is, Talk to them in a loving way. Governments are not living with you, and they are not going to tell you that okay, kill your child or whatever. No, they give you an instruction. You need to use that instruction they give you wisely, and not being afraid of talking to your own child or correcting your own child to be better. For example, a baby, you know that sometimes babies, when they do something wrong, they know that what they did is not good. They will be looking at you to see your reaction. If you react by saying, stop that, don't do it again, sometimes they will do it again, sometimes they won't. But if they do it again and you caution them again and again, they will stop. But when they do it and they look at you, you didn't react, they'll continue doing it, because you not reacting shows approval, that you approve of the attitude and whatever they are doing. So this is where it is not only the parents that are the core drivers, but also the government. And this is why the government should help when they put rules like do not spank, or rules like taking kids away from parents due to the harsh way of they are treating them to foster care. They should provide services that will be training these kids in a proper way, so that they won't turn out to be menace to the society, downing their fellow kids, transferring their aggression, their stupidity on their fellow kids, causing pain to parents who took time to raise their kids well. Because at the end of the day, if you train your one well and your neighbor didn't train their own well, at the end of the day, they are still gonna meet on the street. This is why you don't have to say it is not my problem. It is everybody's problem, because regardless of how you treat your one, they are going to go to school. So they are gonna eventually, one way or the other, meet with these ones. So it is very important for you to look into this and act. You don't even have to be an eye only on your own child. Be an eye also on your neighbor's child. Report what you think that is not looking right. If you report to the parents and the parents don't care, maybe because they are the same, you can alert the government for them to be aware, so that another person's child will not become their own example. I don't know how to put it so that I won't get into YouTube flag. And the final drivers that I am going to mention today are the influencers. The influencers has become something else. It is the influencers, most influencers has it as degree to promote all the negative things in a very flamboyant way and very beautiful way, that it looks like normal, but this is absolute nonsense. This is how they promote this electric cigarette that 14 years old kids, 13 years old kids, 12 years old kids are now doing electric cigarette, and they say it's not harmful. Sometimes I have to stop them at the bus stop and say, do your parents know you smoke this? Some of them will lie to me and say yes, but I know they are lying. When they say it, you look at the face, you know they are lying, and next time they see you at the bus stop, they move. But then I'm careful anyway, because me asking that question, one day I asked myself, why am I even asking that question? What if one of them gets angry and do the same knifing on me? So I have to zip my mouth. I have to zip my mouth. So this is again what government should do. If it's searching their bags or something, let something be done, because this is a menace to everybody. It's everybody's issues now. What are influencers influencing? This is how they have sold sex like it is a commodity. In fact, that it is I don't even know. Sex is like drinking water now. That young girls feels like it is the best way to survive, to make money, quick money. Prostitution is normal. They're not even ashamed coming out to say it anymore. That the ones that are preserving their body to have a normal relationship can't even succeed, because you are just like one stupid sheep, because look at what your mates are doing, and only you is doing like Holy Spirit is on you. So this is where social influencers are really causing damage. And I think this should be really, really watched. What content are people creating? Let contents that add value be pushed more by the algorithm. Whomever that is teaching the algorithm, let them push positive contents that impacts on people's life the way they push all this rubbish. Because you see, many people have come to me and said to me, oh, that's why you're not getting followers. Your followers are leaving because you are giving people advice. You're talking about goodness and everything. That's not what people wants to hear. People wants to show breast. I should just show my breast a little bit. That's when people will watch. I don't bloody care. If you do not want to watch, don't watch. My video will get out there, and people that it is meant for will see it. I came to YouTube to impact lives, and that is why the name of the channel is Tell As Is. So this is it because my back is beginning to hurt now. So I will continue this video next time. Please, I would love you to share this video, contribute, and let us be light and start making contribution. Parents, government, influencers, everybody, we all need to work together to make a change to what we are seeing here today, so that next year we are not going to have any other kid lose their life for nothing. Let's make a change wherever we are. So this is it for this review today. What do you think? This is my opinion. Leave your opinion at the comment section. Stand up against bullying. Stand up against narcissistic bullying around teenagers and young adults today. Be an impact to the Gen Zs. Gen Zs did not make themselves. The generation that the Gen Zs are looking up to are the people training the Gen Zs, because we refuse to tell the Gen Zs the truth. We refuse to tell them the right thing they are supposed to hear. This needs to change. Gen Zs are not terrible. It's just that the data that is being input into them is the wrong data. We need to start putting the right data. This is it for this review. What do you think? Let me hear you at the comment section. With this, I will say, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like this video and share. One love. Bye.